Hi, everybody. Welcome to my collective room. I'm just going to get my camera a little bit situated this way. All right. So I hope everybody's having a great day. It is March 13th, 2024. And I hope will be the first of many collective readings being done live here on YouTube. And yeah, I'm really excited to share this with you all. We're coming off the energy of the new moon in Pisces, which is definitely a very powerful supermoon that we just experienced. It's all about divine connection, deepening our understanding, taking moments to really sit with what we're feeling, thinking, working on, doing a bit of introspection so that we can continue working to be our best selves. So with this reading, we're going to tap in a little bit into that collectively and see what it is that we need to work on, see what should be looking forward to, and going from there with some spirited guidance. So with that said, let's see what the cards tell us. I am reading from a beautiful deck called the Sisters of the Moon Tarot. I am not an affiliate, but I love this deck. I did get it off of Etsy, so we'll try to post a link to it in the description a little later. If you're watching this live, thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching it later, I do hope these messages resonate for you. All right. All right. There is a release that needs to happen. There is a release that needs to happen, and we're going to talk about that, how we can work through this release. It's funny because with new moons, we are always talking about what we are bringing into us, right? What we are wanting to have come to fruition for us. And full moons, we talk about what we need to let go of. But the thing is that releasing and bringing forth, they go hand in hand. We have to release in order to open a pathway, right? In order for what it is that we want to come forward to come our way. And there are things that some of us have been holding on to that are actually getting in the way of our manifestation work. And that's why with the new moon in Pisces, it's so important to take that time to really do that introspection to say, okay, what do I really need to let go of, and what do I really need to bring towards me right now? So some of you are feeling quite unfulfilled with the Ten of Cups in the reverse. Things are just not hitting. You're not getting back what you're putting out there, right? And things are falling flat for you. And that feeling of there being a void, right? It is holding you back. The Fool is coming up in the reverse. The Fool coming up in the reverse is like, I can't take that next step. If I'm not feeling full, if I'm not feeling whole, how can I take that next step? I'm actually now holding myself back because I don't feel I'm worthy to take that next step. The Six of Wands comes up in the reverse because that's defeatist attitude that you're carrying. Why are you carrying on to such a heavy sentiment? Negative sentiment at that about yourself, that you can't get ahead. That's something that you need to explore, right? Then we have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is all about getting yourself unstuck. You know you need to break out of this mood, this mindset. Literally visualize yourself like cutting off those ropes, those strings that have been holding you back and preventing you from taking that next step, that has you feeling that you're not deserving, that you can't get ahead, right? That has you feeling like empty. And then we have the Five of Cups. You have to go through a grieving process, my friends. Whatever it is, it's not necessarily that somebody has passed. We're talking about things ending, and really allowing yourself to go fully through that process. Anger, sadness, all the way to acceptance. The Five of Cups is reminding you, we got to get you to a point of acceptance so that you can keep moving forward. Then we come with the Six of Swords. And yes, acceptance is hard. But acceptance is a part of change. And if we're not willing to accept an experience for what it was, regardless of how it made you feel, we can't move forward. We can't take action. Again, we are holding ourselves back, right? So we have to accept the experience so that we can flip this to move ahead. If we don't, right, we're going to be constantly in a cycle of conflict. Our goal is to get out of our heads and stop the overthinking and not be in conflict with ourselves, that we're feeling secure with ourselves, how we feel, how we express ourselves, how we validate ourselves is important. So we need to get to this point where we can accept, we can move on, and that we're not constantly sitting in a cycle or spiral of these thoughts, these negative thought patterns. This will help us move towards a path of fulfillment, wholeness, oneness, that allows us to be empowered to take that next step so that we're not feeling like we're always at a loss. Because we're not always at a loss. Sometimes, it might take a little longer than it would to get over some things, and that's okay. Timing is not something that we need to be beholden to. But what is very important is that we realize that time is fleeting, things are temporary, and we can move on if we allow ourselves to do that work. So before we end this collective, I'm going to pull a couple of cards from some oracle decks for you. Well, 2 oracle decks. First being the Wild Mystic by Anastasia Catras. It's a beautiful deck. We're going to pull some cards for there just so we're tapping into that energy, see where we're at in connection with our animal guides. I do not call them spirit animals. Animal guides here. Look at that. It's a time of rebirth, my friends, with the moth. Letting things go. One more. There we go. We've got to allow for things to end as they are meant to. With the moth coming up in the reverse representing death, this means the opportunity for rebirth. One door closes, another one opens. We shouldn't fear the change. We've got the transform card with the butterfly in the reverse. How funny, the moth and then the butterfly. We can't fear change. If we fear change, we fear ourselves, the evolution of ourselves. So we need to welcome change because that's what's going to get us again to be our best selves. And here's the raccoon. This right here is imposter syndrome in its finest. Sometimes we're hearing things and believing, and that's really the self-doubt that's creeping in. So let's stop tricking ourselves. We know where it is that we want to go. We may not know the exact path, but we know where it is that we want to go and who we want to be. Do not let trickery get in the way of it. And that's tricking of ourselves, getting in our own heads. Because we deserve to be happy. We deserve to have the most fulfilling life. We deserve to experience all the joy in the world. This is with the lovely dragonfly here. We deserve all of it. And then the last card, because I love this deck so much, from Colette Baron Reed, is the Wisdom of the Oracle. Let's get a powerful message for the collective to close this out. And we will read from the guidebook. It's the message for the collective today. right. We've got, this card says no place like home, but it did come up in the reverse, so that's a protection message. So let's read from the guidebook to see what it says. Card number 50. And just so you know, the essential meaning of the card, before we get into the actual message, is authenticity, coming home to yourself, feeling at home, arriving at a place where you just fit, being comfortable in your own skin. So the mission message for this card reads as follows. Let's get this page up. Don't you love being live and things not turning the way you're meant to turn? Okay, here we go. There are times when what is familiar and known is not the best choice. Human beings are memory-driven creatures, and we all look for certainty for what we know, even if the qualities we seek in other people and in external conditions are expressed in unhealthy ways. Avoid being too eager to find home. Choose something unfamiliar and trust that there you will find a new normal that supports your spirit. Remember, if you do what you did, you'll get what you got. Do the opposite of what feels right, even if it's uncomfortable, because what feels right is really what feels familiar. And you will attract and be drawn to the very things you don't want anymore. This time will not be different unless you do something different. So let's go back to the tarot on that, right? If we are feeling unfulfilled, if we are feeling that we're not deserving, if we are feeling at a loss, right? But we're not willing to change, then we just continue that pattern, right? We just continue that cycle. And yes, we can get comfortable in that cycle, but it also will frustrate us. So while change is not easy and it can be messy, change is necessary to welcome in if we want to evolve and grow. So it's okay to be uncomfortable at times because there's a challenge there that you're meant to face. And when you overcome it, then you can look back on it and say, that wasn't so bad. I got here because I went through that challenge. I'm a better person because I went through that. Right? So allow yourself to not be comfortable. Allow yourself to accept the experience and move on so that you can change and experience something new that's going to make you the better version of you. With that said, friends, I'm Carmela. I hope you join me for another collective reading. I'm not sure how often I'm going to do it, but please do comment. Let me know what you thought about this reading. If it resonated with you, please also let me know and claim that energy. If it didn't, I get it. Not every reading is for everybody. Just leave it where it is, and I hope you come back for the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.